Hey, friends, today's conversation, visualization and imagination, and understanding the difference between the two so that you can allow for your magnetic monopole to be your guide. All right, friends. In the human design body graph, I have pulled you guys over to this side often, and that is the side of the human experiential way. Why do I pull you over here a lot? Well, I pull you over here a lot because this is the start codon. This begins everything. Fantasy, dreaming, imagination. This is the start of the entire human experiential way. And because it's the start of the human experiential way, it is very critical that you are leaning into imagination, playing with your imagination, opening up, being creative, leaning into writing. Maybe it's cooking, maybe it's gardening, maybe it's coding, whatever that is, that creative muse that allows for your fantasy and imagination to take you into an experience, okay? However, here's what's really important on this side of the body graph. Because this stream is collective, it's a collective stream. So what can happen is that you can get pulled into the experience of other people if there is no visualization and connection with your monopole movement. You can get easily sucked into that collective imagination and that collective movement. So let's play with this. The 3635. I want to go here first before we pop into the driver of your entire world. The 3635 is this energy of transitoriness. And this entire stream that we're talking about today, it's the hunger stream. So we start a new experience, we jump into a new experience, and then, we get a little nervous with the 3036. We get a little nervous. We're wondering, are the fates going to support us and back us and really allow us to move forward into this? Or are there a whole bunch of expectations that are holding back your ability to be satiated in the experience? There's a whole bunch of expectations that go along here because that's just how it is in the collective. What happens is we create this blame game. And this blame game is, oh, this didn't happen and it's your fault. Oh, this experience doesn't feel correct and it's your fault. It's the government's fault. It's your uncle, your aunt, your boss, whatever it is, because you got sucked into their imagination, their experiential way. Why? Because this is collective. So we can get sucked into the collective movement, and not always is it satiating for us. Okay? Now, what's the difference between imagination and visualization? Massive amounts of difference. When we look at the individual circuitry needs visualization. Why? This second gate is vision. And this is the seat of your monopole. This is your driver. Okay? This is your driver. So if you are not operating through strategy and authority, leaning into the visualization for your direction, the collective is going to pull you into their fantasy. And it's going to suck you in, and you're never going to feel satiated. So below, I have a PDF that you can use to lean into visualization work. Now, I recommend, and this is, you can feel invited into this. You can respond to this. If there's an initiation to do so, please do so. I recommend quarterly or at least every 6 months. If you're operating a business and you have a team, you want to be touching base on that at least every 6 months. Okay? You want to see, is what we put forward as a team, as an organization, is it moving in the correct direction? Quarterly for yourself, you can do that. But in your business, definitely do it at least every 6 months, for sure. I recommend every 3. Why? Because when I don't do it, I see how the collective sucks me in to their own expectations. I watch it. That's what a third line does. Tells you what doesn't work so that you can lean into what does work. And I know for sure, writing it down and putting it on paper, which I put it on Remarkable, okay? And having it there every quarter for myself reminds me, oh yeah, here it is. This is where I'm moving towards. Did any of those visualizations come to fruition? Yes. All right, now let's keep building. That's what the second gate requires. It requires you to visualize. The driver, your visualizations are yours. They're not anybody else's. They're not anybody else's. And the more you hone in and exercise your imagination, because it's the start codon, then all of a sudden your driver can help you go out and actually show this into the world. So I'm looking at this through the individual body graph, but this is also how the penta works. If your business doesn't have a vision, all that whole team, that whole cohesiveness of your team, that really dedicated team, nothing's going to happen. Why? Because there's no place for them to funnel all of that commitment and all of those resources. There's nowhere for the business to go. So why visualization keeps you on track and on your direction is exactly this. Your commitment level, your flow, your capacity then moves that vision out into the world so that other people can go, oh, okay, she or he is ready to serve. And when you're ready to serve, okay, when you are ready to serve, when your visualization is so on point, guess what happens? Okay. Guess what happens? I'm going to bring myself on the screen here a little bit. When your visualization is so on point, what happens is that when you put it out into the world, those that are ready to be served, those that are ready to be led, those that are ready to be recognized and noticed in their own world will show up in your teaching, in your coaching, in your business. They will show up because you have expressed this vision out into the world. Okay? So I'm going to challenge you. I'm going to challenge you today. I don't know if challenge is really the best word. 70% of the population having an undefined ego. So I'm going to invite you. Let's do this. And you can respond how you need to. I'm going to invite you to literally write down your vision. Write it down. And put a reminder in your calendar or in your phone. 3 months from now, go back to that visualization. Now, it's not just about writing it down. Because what happens is now all of a sudden the conscious awareness can understand what's going on in the imagination. Okay? And now it goes out into the world. So I encourage you to lean into a journaling process where you're actually visualizing. So I have so many examples of me visualizing. And yeah, it might take a few times for that visualization to come to fruition, but it happens every single time, and two of the most prominent places that come to my mind all the time is around my farm. And that is when we were purchasing the farm. Yeah, I think I went to like 15 different farms, with a real estate agent. Every time it's like, no, 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 no. We had a visualization. We knew what it was. It needed to be cattle friendly. It needed to have space where we could expand and buy more land. And because of that, as soon as we drove up to this property that we purchased, I knew right then, this is it. Because I had already imagined and we had visualized it. And then I look at this new home that we put on a couple years ago with the decks. I had a visualization. I knew what I wanted. And it took lots of contractors. It took like 6 contractors to build me what I wanted. But here it is. And we're living in it and we love it. So the visualization is so key because the consciousness field is just geometry. It's just geometry, sacred geometry. The moment that you provide a space, a visualization, and then you go in and you make the decision, this is mine, claim it, claim it. That's what has to happen. In order for it to be discovered, in order for you to lean into your flow and for the capacity of resources to show up, there has to be a vision. You have to make the decision that that's going to be yours. Claim it in the consciousness field and then watch it happen in the world. Okay. So again, drop down below. There's a PDF there for visualization work. If you want to go deeper into human design and understand the source material and recognize the profound magic that's inside of you, well, there's a human design self-study with mentorship. Also, if you're building a business, you're building a coaching business or service business, and you feel like, there's pieces and parts that might be missing, it's probably the design. It's probably leaning deeper into the layers and layers of magic that is waiting for you to align to. So I have those 2 offers. If that's of interest to you, you can click on the link below. That Monopole alignment takes you to a page. You can pick and choose how you want to connect with me. But I just want you to understand that your driver needs vision. It needs to have its vision documented so that it can move forward, right? Just think about this as your GPS. Think about it as your GPS. If the GPS has incorrect input or the satellites are off by 15 or 20 degrees, that input into that GPS is going to be incorrect and the direction isn't going to be right. So now what you get to do, document it, write it out. And now there's a space for your GPS to move down. All right, friends. And this visualization is yours. Fantasy and imagination can be collective, but visualization is yours. It's individual and it's your driver speaking through you. Enjoy. Hey, friends, are you looking for a reliable software that you can utilize in your human design business so that you can help your people lean into the best expression of who they are? Well, I recommend Genetic Matrix. Why I recommend this is 2-part. Number 1, it is a very robust software program. And number 2, as a teacher, as someone who has a community that I mentor on how to understand human design, I love Genetic Matrix because it's the original terminology. It provides the correct frequency and everything that I need to teach my people, from a primary health system, rave psychology, outer authority, business, life cycle, relationships. Everything that I need is here in Genetic Matrix. So let's just pop in here so that you can get a feel and a taste for how robust this system is. Now, maybe you also do gene keys and you meld gene keys into your business. Well, in Genetic Matrix, you can do foundational information, you can do astrology. What I love is not only does it give me the surface of the human design chart, but it gives me the deeper aspects. And this is really important to understand this. If you want to become a master and understand design deeply, and not just look at this and try to make things up, but you're deeply understanding it. That's what I get to do in my mentorship. So this robust program allows me to do that. I can go in, help my clientele understand so that they can go out and be masters of this material. So again, what I love, BG5 consultant that I am, I really appreciate the Penta, the Wa, and looking at this through the lens of materialism, because that's what the 3D world is. So if this is of interest to you, see the link below, look at the genetic matrix. That is an affiliate link. And if you want something that's really robust that can help you with gene keys, human design, business, the deeper levels of human design, and also be able to become a master, it's all in the link below. All right, enjoy.